I'm a little bit concerned about the uncertainty and speaking up so that as we make trade-offs, that hopefully we're not cutting things that really have great humanitarian and security benefit.
All right, billionaire Bill Gates all in on foreign aid. Not so billionaire Ron Paul all out on stopping foreign aid. The good congressman, former presidential candidate, joining us on the phone right now. Congressman, Bill Gates, maybe for all the right and good reasons, wants to continue it because it says it does more to feed the poor and help those who really need it, even outweighing some of the abuse and waste that comes with that. What do you say?
Well, I always say instead of what? If you cut out the warmongering and cut some of the deficit down and gave some away with humanitarian reasons, I'm not going to fight it, even though I don't have any confidence in that, because I think foreign aid too often gets in the hands of the politicians, and they get into warring factions they fight over, and I don't think the record's very good as it helps people. But, we spend a lot of time on how this money is being spent, but we never talk about where the money comes from. You take a Bill Gates, he has a lot of money in his foundation, but he doesn't get taxed on that. But poor people get taxed, whether it's the inflation tax or income tax or whatever, and so they end up paying. And my argument for foreign aid is you take money from poor people in this country, it ends up in the pockets of the rich people in poor countries. So
I guess what he's getting beyond all that, and I this is where I want to raise with you, is that for all the, I'm paraphrasing, I hope I've got it right, Congressman, bear with me, but for all of the waste of use and sometimes getting into the wrong hands and sometimes getting it into no hands, we still have, since foreign aid started in this country, fewer starving people, more educated people across the globe he's talking about. And that, he says, is a testament to generous Americans over the years whose money has been put to more good than it has harm. What say you?
Well, I mean, that's an opinion. I don't happen to agree with it because there are other things that happen around the world. I mean, economies do change. The breakdown of the Soviet system had a lot to do with increasing prosperity. But if it was prosperity that we have to concentrate on, we might think of what's happening in New York City right now. I mean, 50,000 people sleeping out on the streets every night while the rich get richer. 80%, if you worry about education, this statistic, I can't even believe it, but the statistic said 80% of those graduating from high school in New York City can't read. So why do we have to gamble on taking money from people and going overseas? Although I did put it in perspective when we started, instead of what? If you can save some money by cutting out, drone missiles, looking for trouble, bombing people, invading countries, fighting useless wars like Iraq and Afghanistan, I would say, save some money, cut back on the deficit, and try the humanitarian things. I mean, that would be much better, but I still don't endorse it morally, and I don't believe it's practical. But since I'm such a practical guy and I'm willing to bend a little bit, I would say do that. But just to take more money from poor people or inflate the currency, you're undermining production, and you're going to have more people sleeping on the streets in New York, and their education will not get any better.
Ron Paul, thank you very much.
Thank you.